Why do men give women flowers? Not for utility, not for longevity, but because, without knowing it, they are performing a rite. The flower is Earth's first sacrament, an offering severed from the root, beautiful precisely because it fades. It is presence made temporal, a silent altar cradled in the hand. The meaning is not in the petals, it is in the gesture, the walk to pick it, the decision to carry it, the knowing that it will die, and giving it anyway. That is what moves us. Voluntary sacrifice, offered with pure intention. That is what shapes the world. A man bearing the earth's beauty offers a living symbol of sacrifice and intention. A bloom severed from soil carries temporality. It dies beautifully, like a gesture that knows it will not last. And that is the point. It is not merely a gift, it is a consecration. Here is something born of earth, lifted in my hands, shaped by the intention to honor you. Its beauty and power lie in its death. This is what separates it from things that persist, from jewelry, from objects that endure through time. A ring says forever. A flower says, I chose this, knowing it ends. That makes it real. Some gifts persist, others dissolve. And it is in the dissolution that sacredness lives. The most potent human acts are the ones that cannot be stored. A held gaze, a meal shared in silence, a song sung in a room but never recorded. They exist only in the moment of their offering, and then they are gone. That dissolution is what makes them sacred rather than transactional. You cannot accumulate flowers the way you accumulate wealth. They refuse to become capital. Their impermanence creates a sacred now. And that is the altar on which love is placed. Meals, songs, eye contact, touch. None can be stored. None can be owned. That is why they matter. This is the core insight. The object carries the coherence of the one who shaped it. Not metaphorically, energetically. The process of preparation encodes something into the object, not as poetry, but as a real informational layer. The hand that picked the flower, the attention that arranged it, the walk to deliver it. All of it exists within the gift as a kind of residue. Attention leaves residue. Time is a medium. The gift becomes a fieldprint. Consider the difference everyone instinctively feels with something that carries a fieldprint. A home-cooked meal, a handwritten letter, flowers picked from a garden, a carved wooden toy, against things that are field absent, a delivered meal, a typed email, flowers ordered through an app, a mass-produced toy. We explain this difference with words like effort or thoughtfulness, but those are placeholders. What we are actually pointing at is that the object carries the coherent state of the one who shaped it. The time spent is not a cost, it is an encoding medium. Attention is literally being woven into form. Factory-made goods feel hollow, not because they are low quality, but because no one made them. They were shaped by no presence. They carry no singular field signature. They were produced by distributed, disinterested process. The object works, but it does not resonate. Just like food grown or picked by hand, a true gift carries the field print of the one who harvested it. That is the real nutrition, attention and intention encoded into form. we can begin to map the ritual archetypes of gift-giving. Each represents a distinct mode of field exchange, a different way that sacrifice and intention combine to shape the space between two beings. Giving flowers is a ritual of presence. The giver says, "I went to the earth, I selected beauty, I severed it from its source knowing it would die, and I carried it to you." This is structurally identical to ancient offering rituals, the sacrifice of something living, elevated by intention, placed before the one you honor. The flower is a portable altar. Gardening is co-creation with source. The human does not simply harvest, they participate in the generative process itself. You put a seed in soil, you tend it, you wait. You are in dialogue with something that has its own timeline, its own intelligence. Gardening is the slowest conversation a person can have with the earth, and what grows carries the full duration of that exchange. This is why gardens feel like sacred spaces, even to non-religious people. They are fields of sustained mutual attention between human and ground. Cooking for someone is temporary alchemy. Raw ingredients are inert potential. Heat, timing, combination, and care transform them into something that enters another person's body and literally becomes them. This is the most intimate gift possible. You are giving someone something that will dissolve into their cells. Every culture on earth treats the shared meal as covenant, and this is why. It is not symbolic. It is literal integration of one person's attention into another person's physical form. Handwritten notes are sigils of intention. The hand moves slower than the keyboard. It requires the body. Each letter is a small motor act shaped by the specific pressure, rhythm, and tremor of the writer in that exact moment. The imperfections are the point. They are timestamps of embodiment. A handwritten note is a recording of someone's nervous system in the act of thinking about you. That is what makes them feel alive in a way digital text cannot. The medium retains the body. Each is a kind of sacrifice. Each encodes attention. Each leaves a field print. The deeper principle is sacrifice plus pure intention equals reality shaping. This equation sits beneath all ancient ritual. What it says is that the voluntary relinquishment of something, time, comfort, a living thing, effort, when combined with coherent directional will, produces an effect that exceeds the material value of the exchange. This is the hidden engine behind every ritual tradition on earth. The burnt offering, the pilgrimage, the vow, the fast, the tithe, the vigil. These are not transactions, they are field realignments. The offering is not about what you give, but how and why you give it. None of them make sense in transactional terms. They make sense in field terms. The sacrifice creates an opening, and the intention shapes what flows through it. The cost is the opening. The intention is the vector. The field is what moves. Gift-giving is the secular heir to the sacred offering. And it still works, because the substrate has not changed. We just forgot how to speak the language. The item is the vessel. The field is what is truly exchanged, and the field is generated by the combination of what was given up and what was meant. This lens, once adopted, reveals much about the architecture of modern disconnection and the path back toward coherence. It explains why commodification kills meaning. When you can buy convenience, you eliminate sacrifice. When you eliminate sacrifice, you collapse the field. Amazon's same-day delivery is materially efficient and ritually void. The gift arrives, but the field print is absent. You cannot automate presence. You cannot mass-produce intention. The vessel may be full, but the field is empty. This is why people feel hollow receiving expensive gifts that required no effort. The cost was financial, but the field was never engaged. It explains why presence is the only true currency. Every form of sacred exchange requires the giver to be in time with the gift, to spend irreplaceable duration shaping it. Presence cannot be delegated, outsourced, or automated. It is the one resource that cannot be counterfeited, which is exactly why it registers as sacred. You cannot fake time spent. You cannot outsource real care. Presence, unreplicable, is the only sacred capital. It explains why ritual starvation breeds disconnection. If gift-giving, meal sharing, hand-making, and gardening are all forms of field exchange, then a society that replaces them with transactions is not just becoming less personal. It is severing the channels through which human beings maintain resonance with each other and with the earth. When a culture replaces giving with buying, witnessing with scrolling, making with ordering, the field collapses. The loneliness epidemic is not merely social. It is ritual deficiency. It is field starvation. You cannot accumulate flowers. You cannot bank a gaze. You cannot download a home-cooked meal. And that is the point. What is given through time and intention shapes the world. The rest is data. The rest is things. But a true gift is something else entirely. It is a waveform, born of sacrifice, carried by presence, offered without guarantee of return. Sacrificed, carried, given. And in that giving, the field remembers.